Welcome back to Workplace Wisdom, your go-to podcast for all things related to employment, law, and workplace issues. I'm your host, Suleiman Bukiako, and today we're diving into a crucial topic, labor laws in Washington State. Whether you're an employee or employer, understanding these laws is vital for creating fair and legally sound workplaces. Now, Washington State is known for having some of the most worker-friendly laws in the country, and that's what makes it unique. Let's break down some of the key labor laws you need to know. Allow me to welcome the Washington State Labor and Industries representative, Mr. Rudy Franco. Hey, how are you doing today?
How you doing, my friend?
Doing good. The first thing I wanted to talk about is Washington's minimum wage laws. As of 2025, the minimum wage in Washington State is $16.50 an hour, one of the highest in the nation. It's important to note that Washington's minimum wage increases annually based on the rate of inflation. So if you're an employee or business owner in Washington, you'll need to keep track of those yearly changes. The state also has a training wage, which allows employees to pay new employees under 20 years old a reduced minimum wage for the first 90 days of employment. After that, they must be paid at the full state minimum.
Yeah, that's right. And for employers, it's essential to stay compliant with this. So essentially, especially when it comes to tips, in Washington, employees in tip positions like servers or bartenders are still entitled to a minimum wage. And employers must ensure that tips do not substitute the hourly wage.
Great point. Now let's move on to overtime laws. Overtime pay in Washington is another area where state law goes above and beyond federal standards. Federal law requires overtime pay for non-exempt employees who work more than 40 hours a week. But in Washington, the rules are similar, but there are some important nuances.
Absolutely. So in Washington, most employees who work more than 40 hours a week are entitled to overtime pay at 1.5 times their regularly hour rate. However, there are exceptions, especially for salary employees in certain industries. These employees may not be entitled to overtime pay.
And for employers, it's crucial to remember that the definition of exempt versus non-exempt employees can be a gray area. If you're a business owner or HR professional, make sure to regularly audit job descriptions and classifications to ensure you're following these rules. Now moving on to something that's becoming increasingly important over the last few years, paid sick leave. Washington State requires employees to provide paid sick leave to all the employees who work at least 80 hours in a calendar year.
Yeah, that's right. Employees earn 1 hour of paid sick leave for every 40 hours worked. They can use it for their own illness, take care of family members, or for other family emergencies. It's important to note that unused sick leave can accumulate, but employers are not required to pay out unused sick leave when an employee leaves the company.
That's a big one. And for employees, it's also crucial to understand that there's no waiting period to begin accruing sick leave. From day one of employment, you should start earning it. Speaking of family related time off, Washington State also offers additional protection through the Family and Medical Leave Program. This is separate from the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act, or FMLA. Washington's Paid Family and Medical Leave PFML program, which went into effect in 2020, provides employees with paid leave for various reasons such as caring for a newborn or newly adopted child, caring for a family member with serious health condition, taking time off due to serious health conditions which affect that of the employee.
And it's important to note that this benefit is available to nearly all workers in the state, including part time and temporary employees, if they meet the eligibility requirements.
That's right. The program offers up to 12 weeks of paid leave with benefits covering a percentage of an employee's wage. Another critical aspect of Washington labor law is the various protections for workers. For example, the Washington law against discrimination ensures that employees are protected against discrimination based on race, gender, disability, and several other factors.
Yes, and there are also laws that protect workers from retaliation for exercising their rights. This includes taking family leave, reporting unsafe working conditions, or even talking about wages with coworkers. Employees in Washington state have a strong right to take these actions without fear of losing their jobs.
Exactly. And if someone feels like they're being discriminated against or retaliated against, they can file a complaint with the Washington State Human Rights Commission. Before we wrap up, it's worth mentioning some other unique aspects of Washington labor law, such as the Equal Pay and Opportunities Law. Washington has one of the strongest equal pay laws in the country and requires employees to provide equal pay for equal work regardless of gender, and even goes a step further by ensuring the employers can't ask for salary history when hiring.
This law is key for promoting fair pay practices and helping to close the gender wage gap. Employers must also keep records of pay and job descriptions to ensure they're compliant.
Before we wrap up, it's worth mentioning some other unique aspects of Washington labor laws, such as the Equal Pay and Opportunities Law. Washington has one of the strongest equal pay laws in the country. It requires employers to provide equal pay for equal work, regardless of gender, and it even goes a step further by ensuring that employers can't ask for salary history when hiring.
This law is key for promoting fair pay practices and helping to close the gender wage gap. Employers must also keep records of pay and job descriptions to ensure they're compliant.
It's fantastic to see such proactive measures for equality. And finally, we should mention the fact that Washington State is a no-fault state for workers' compensation, which ensures that employees who are injured on the job receive compensation, regardless of who was at fault in the incident.
Absolutely. Washington Workers' Compensation System provides medical coverage and wage replacement for injured workers. It's one of the most comprehensive systems in the country.
Thank you for that, Rudy. That's all the time we have today. If you're an employee or employer in Washington State, I hope this episode gave you some valuable insights into the state labor laws. As always, if you need more specific legal advice, be sure to consult with a labor attorney. Thank you so much to our expert for joining us, and thank you all for our listeners for tuning in. Until next time, stay informed and stay protected. Remember, your labor rights are human rights.
Thank you.
Thing.